Hey my Yannanators, welcome back to another video. I hope you guys can hear me. I have my headphones in because I'm at work and I'm in a break room. So today what I wanted to talk about was I don't know what to really title it, but pretty much an update of what's been happening with me. So I'm back at work, obviously. Very thankful for that. And I feel like honestly how I was able to get my job back was talking to my cousin about manifestation. I scripted it several times and then things just kind of like worked out for the better, which I'm very, very thankful for. And that's something I wanted to come on here and talk about. I've been watching a lot lately of Sparkle Marie here on YouTube, and just what she's been saying has really been sitting with me and really like hope y'all can hear me. Has really been like sitting with me and really touching me on a personal level. I just wanted to do this video now while it's fresh on my mind, and I was just listening and watching to Sarah Jakes Roberts Girl Get Up. It's like a 45-minute long video on 1LA, and it was really inspirational and really speaking to me. And I just wanted to touch on a few things. So like if something in your life you feel like you want to change, you want to improve, you want to ask for something, you have every right to ask for it and to manifest it. Now, granted, keep in mind, disclaimer, I'm still in the beginning of learning all of this, but so far what I've learned is anything you want, it's already yours. Anything you truly desire is already yours. Obviously, be practical, be as realistic about it. Not saying things can't happen, because things can happen every day. There's all different type of manifestation stories, but just be realistic. I feel like within your means of what you're asking for, and that can sit with how much money you ask for, the items you like, things of that sort. And make sure, I think the biggest key is you have to claim it and you have to see it as though it's already done and that it's already yours. If you have any self-doubt, if you have any like uncertainty, I feel like it'll just not work out for you. You have to know it. You have to claim it as yours. You have to know it's yours, full 100%, and then you have to move on. Like, give it to the universe and then just move on. And that's pretty much what I'm learning. And the crazy part about this, I thought like manifestation was like this big like joke, kind of like not a real thing, but it's like legit. Like even like I've heard people like Sarah Jakes Roberts, like I mentioned, she mentions manifestation, different things. Like anything that's meant for you will be for you, and no one can stop that from being for you. So if you want that business, manifest that. Be specific about the type of business you want. Obviously give the universe ability to have room to make it what you want or more. So like, say for example, if I say, hey, I want a 2016 car, at least the universe knows that, okay, I would like a car, and yes, I would like it to be a 2016, but I'm not saying like I want and this might be a bad example, but I'm not saying like I want a 2016 Hyundai Elantra, green outside, blue interior, then go on in super specs. Like, I mean, you can, but it's like, keep it to where it can be like more so there's space and opportunity for improvements, or to give you something like that is still what you're asking for, but maybe even more, if that makes sense. So that's what I've been doing lately with manifesting. Manifesting, really scripting. 33 by 3, I just realized was you write, if I can find a video, I'll try to link it. You write 33 things. You wrote one thing 33 times for 3 days. I had messed up with that the first time. You wrote it one thing 33 times for a day. I didn't realize I was going to do it for 3, so I have to reread it and go off of it. Learning a lot within this new chapter. I'm really ready for this next journey. Sorry for the progress on my channel. Like, it's been kind of spaced out. Was gone for 3 weeks. Tried to post a Vlogmas video. Vlogmas I can't deal with right now. It's not that I can't. It's just I'd rather just make videos like regular. Maybe next year. I think next year is when I'll go really hard with Vlogmas, because I'll be more settled. I'm just trying to get in the swing of things and get things organized right now, because for the next several months or so to the summertime. I have a lot to do within myself and getting stuff situated for this next chapter, which I'm extremely grateful for. Oh, and yesterday, guys, we did a Santa, like a, not Secret Santa, well, I guess Secret Santa at my job, and I got an Ulta gift card. It's $20, and I'm super excited. So, makeup videos coming soon. What else? I'm just trying to also focus on like being more positive and not letting everything get a reaction out of me, because sometimes my patience don't be existing. And it's just like loving me for each and every stage that I've been on. Granted, I don't like the size I've gotten to, but it's like if I take ownership, love each phase, it'll work out the way I need it to. Obviously, being diligent with eating better and exercising and stuff like that, and knowing necessary things to help with weight loss. But it all starts with the mind, and that's what I'm learning. If you don't have a healthy mind, how can you expect for anything else to be healthy? You know what I'm saying? So working on that. And another thing, some things I want to touch on, especially some moms out there. Like for me, it's like, and me and his father have already talked about it. I'm not going to dive into detail, but I feel like sometimes we kind of tend to hold on to situations or people because of codependency, and also just because of pretty much codependency. Like you don't have until you guys got it together. You feel like you won't be able to do without that person, and vice versa. But it's like, I feel like I'm not saying break up your happy home. I'm not saying that. If you feel like you guys are able and genuinely to come to a resolution and get everything out on the table and get everything fixed and get everything resolved, great, perfect, ideal, you're winning. But it's like, for me, it's like now, especially after where we're at, I feel like it's just more healthier if we take the time out to make our child the priority, but then also work on ourselves individually. Because it's like, before him, I didn't have anything. I didn't have my first apartment. I still don't have a driver's license, which I'm working on, in the process of that, actually. Things of that sort. So it's like, I feel like I need to figure out how to do things on my own first. Then maybe, I feel like I rushed everything. Like, I'm not saying anything bad. I love my son. I adore my son. And I don't regret the time me and his dad had and what we learned throughout. It taught me a lot about myself and what I will accept and what I won't accept, and what I should be doing, what I shouldn't be doing. But definitely feel like going into relationships, I'm not saying you have to have everything figured out, but, so I'm 24, I'll be 25. I feel like it's definitely important to kind of have like some type of foundation within yourself. Like, even if it's just like within your self-esteem, that's great too. Because I think that's very important, because you cannot expect anyone to, if you're empty, you can't expect someone to fill you up or love. Like, you can't expect someone to love you when you don't have love for yourself. It kind of is like redundant, and it's kind of like a double negative. You have to love you. And then once someone comes in, they can love you too. But you have to have enough love for yourself to make yourself feel whole, to be whole, I mean. So it's like, that's something I'm learning. I'm trying to get back to me. I'm trying to get back to things I used to do. Like, guys, I used to sing a lot. I used to write songs. I used to write little poems. I used to take pictures of like nature. I used to be really in tune with nature, which I kind of like started to neglect. And it's not saying, oh, my relationship was the only thing. It's just like everything happening so fast, like getting a relationship, becoming a mom, having to make certain decisions that you weren't planning to have to make, so it's like, now it's like, okay, now everything's settled. Now it's like, okay, to give my son the best me, I'm gonna work on me. So it's like, whatever that means. And I feel like, especially for when I choose to get into another relationship, which is not going to be for some time, I do want there to be courting. I do want there to be dates. I want the requirements of what I expect for me to have I want the requirements for what I expect to be what somebody else can expect too. You get what I'm saying? Like, oh, I would prefer if you have a car. Sis need to have a car. I would prefer if we could go on dates. Vice versa. I would prefer if nice little gestures, vice versa. Or, like if you pay for dinner one night, even if I have to like try to sneak and pay for it. I pay for it, like certain things, like, chivalry, for guys and girls. I really want to get back to the root of like conversation, because I definitely feel like I yearn for good intellectual conversation. Sorry, I'm eating now. My pop because it's 7:40. Good conversation, I feel like it's very limited now. And I know for me, for a long time, I didn't really care about conversation, but now it's like, yes, we need to have a conversation. And I don't mean like, oh, the Steelers, or oh, politics. Not just politics, other things, like what are some goals for yourself? And I just don't want to say, oh, my goals are pretty much, no, or my goals are to have a food truck, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I want to go into depth, like 5-year goals, 10-year goals, 20-year, like where I see myself by the time I'm 35, where do I see myself by the time I'm 40, where do I see myself by the time I'm 30 years old, where do I see myself next year, things of that sort, you know what I'm saying? Like, just more conversation and more detail, and just making sure, like, we all have our hiccups, we all have our setbacks, but it's like, I definitely know the woman I want to be. I definitely do know I want to be married. I definitely do know I want to have more children, but I just don't want to do it improper. And I feel like I couldn't be mad at how a situation happened, because I didn't lay down that structure and that awareness and that foundation from the very beginning. So that's another message. Not only manifest what you want, write it down, believe in it, confirm that is done, and move on and give it to the God, give it to the universe, or whatever you believe in. But be deliberate, like be strong, be intentional of where you stand. If you know you don't want to have sex until you get married, don't do it. If you know you don't want to just be with any Joe Schmo goat or go, don't do it. If you know, like, now some expectations get kind of unrealistic to me, especially if you're not in the same boat, so whereas you're not around those type of people. But if you want a man or a woman to make a certain amount of money, because that's what you make, or you make equivalent to that, then I get it. Like, just be stern in what you believe in. If you want a Christian man, Christian woman, if you want what's another one? Whatever your religion or beliefs is, spiritual, whatever. Just make sure you both can be evenly yoked, if that makes sense. So it just doesn't seem like after a while it becomes a dead end, because it's like, I feel like, for me, with certain things you can compromise, or certain things you come to common grounds on, but it's like the love languages, you need to kind of know what somebody is looking for. I feel like date to get to know someone, to really get to know someone. If you keep the physical out for a while, I would say definitely do that. I'm not an expert at all. This is just what I'm learning, and then like as doing and becoming something serious. This is like the thought process I'm having. Like, yeah, and I have requirements. I don't certain things I just will not deal with anymore. Like, I don't smoke. Don't want to smoke. I will not compromise for that. I do not want a smoker. No cigarettes, no weed, no nothing. I do not want to smoke. I'm just over it. Smoking, I'm just over it. So like certain things I'm just like, At first I was like, oh no, I could compromise, but then I was like, no. And even with drinking, like I do go out and drink occasionally, have a drink or so, hang out, but even that I don't need it to be your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's your purpose. Like, if there ain't no drinks involved, you can't go. You know? So it's like, I want to do some more traveling. I want to get my passport. Y'all, I can go on and on and on. So many things I want to do. I want to not harp so much on finding like a relationship or finding someone to be with. I want to find the joy within me that I know I can fulfill instead of asking from a relationship, because we all have that capability. So I'm going to work on doing that for myself. Doing stuff with my son, taking my son places, really getting more hands-on with my son's education and learning development. Not saying there's anything wrong with my son, just being more like in tune with that part, because I feel like I let things that weren't that, I'm not saying weren't that important, but yeah, weren't that important, hold value in space for a long time. And this is not to backstab, showboat, be disrespectful, nothing. because we're still copacetic, we're still cordial, we have a child together. But it's just something I just realized, like, sometimes you have to just stand back from a situation and be like, why? And not even like, why am I doing all the work and the other person not even in that type of context, but just why? We get one life. And I'm not saying all relationships, the relationship gotta be popping, fun, happy go lucky, no negativity, no arguments. But I feel like, I forgot what I said to my best friend. I said, well, relationships may have their challenges, but they don't have to be difficult. You know what I'm saying? So I hope this sat with someone. I'm sorry if I kept moving the camera. There's people coming in and out, and I'm like socially awkward. Plus, I don't really know how to vlog in front of people, which I really need to learn how to do because I like YouTube. But yeah, if this sat with any of you, and oh yeah, I hope y'all doing good. I don't know if I said that in the beginning. If this sat with any of you, make sure you comment down below what sat with you, what you feel about manifestation, what you feel about what I said. If you're just like, Ayanna, what are you talking about? That's cool too. You can put that in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, y'all. It might be a wrap for Vlogmas. I think I'm gonna go harder next year. I was supposed to go harder this year, but this is my growth and changing year. Next year we on and pop it. We gonna be more traveling. Gonna be more networking. Gonna be more speaking. Period. Boo. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.